So we've established that we're in agreement, right?
Yeah.
So my thing is, right? That's why I said in the chat earlier, we allow women to dictate too much of what dating is and shouldn't be. And far too often we don't get enough to hear from what men enjoy about dating, rather
Uh,
than it being centered around what women want.
I want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
I'm Rob. I'm going
Okay.
to when you say we, and I know you're not talking about us specifically, but you're saying men. I think weak men on a large scale allow that to happen to them. Rob's not like that. Noble's not like that. But again, these aren't men that are desperate and have a scarcity mindset, and whatever girl blows their way, they willing to go above and beyond for her. But
Mhm.
there's not a lot of men are like that. So a lot of men really have to be that way. To be honest with you, they got to play that game because
Right,
because they don't have like options, and they got like a scarcity mindset.
right.
So if a girl whistle, if a girl blow his direction, he gonna suck up and do whatever like she want him to do.
Right, right. And my final statement before we get Miss Expert on, because I mean all respect to Miss Expert. So my thing is, I think all I'm saying is that I understand not every man is a 10 toes down standing on business. I'm gonna do it because I'm me kind of guy. I understand that, but all I'm saying is for any men that may be watching, is you have a choice. You need to have self respect and understand what you're trying to get out of this situation besides appeasing to her interests, appeasing to her needs, appeasing to her wants. What do you want?
Go ahead,
Okay, is it
expert.
my
Go ahead.
turn now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Um, so I'm gonna give you a scenario, and trust again, we're all saying the same things just in a different way. We've already said that if what you want and what she wants doesn't align, go your separate ways. Nobody's saying not to. But what I am gonna give you a scenario. Like I said, since my divorce, I've dated, just to see what dating is like because I never got the opportunity to. In my job as a truck driver, I meet men with a lot of money all the time. I meet CEOs. I meet people that own their own businesses. I meet owner operators that make two, three, four, $500,000 a year. I actually dated at one point in time. I dated the vice president of logistics for FedEx. This man makes $500,000 a year, and another he took me on a date that I wanted to go to, but I dated a man that was a CEO of a multinational corporation worth $17 million. These are the types of men that I come in contact with. And he was from Atlanta. He came here to visit me in the state that I live in, and it was my birthday. And we were talking. I told him that I was a vegan. Right? Again, food is one of my love languages. So the majority of the time he was here, he was on his phone. He had some work to do. And I understood that. I wasn't, I didn't have a problem with that. He already told me before he got here, he had some things he had to deal with his publishers and stuff like that. Cause he was writing a book. So the whole time he was here, he did that. Now, mind you, it's my birthday. He came here, no flowers, no gift, no nothing. He was so caught up in himself and like what Rob is saying, his interests, that he didn't give a damn about what was going on with me. Again, I'm vegan. He decided he was going to choose a restaurant that sold barbecue. So we go downtown to the restaurant, and I was like, okay, I'm sure they have some, vegetarian or whatnot options. He looked it up online, chose a restaurant that did not have any vegan options, no vegetarian options, no nothing. We get there, and all I could choose was some dry ass potato salad, some like cucumbers and carrots and stuff like that, and barely anything there for me to eat. So then we go back, and the next morning when he was getting ready to leave to get on the plane, this man got mad at me because I didn't buy him breakfast before he left.
Mm.
Needless to say, blocked his ass, never talked to him again.
Yeah, that's not.
Because what you're not going to do is
Sassy
come
what?
Huh?
Hey, he was a little sassy, wasn't he?
Yeah. He
I
wanted to
have a
be the
question.
princess.
I have a question.
No, I'm not going to answer you. Never mind. Anyway, so if you cannot come
They
to a
lucky
date,
too.
if you cannot come to a date and in some way, some form, or some fashion care anything about me, the person that is there on the other person on the other end of the date, then yes, you are going to lose, because now the opportunity that you had to be with a wonderful, intelligent, articulate, beautiful human being, you just lost out on that.
But
Because
he
trust and
didn't.
believe, my ex-husband of 10 years begged, pleaded, cried, and snotted on his knees for me to stay.
Okay, but my question is, okay, here's a scenario you said: multimillionaire, business owner, rich man flew in out of nowhere on your birthday, and then took you where he wanted to go, and then next morning somehow you're with him the next morning, so he got the draws, and then
He
he
stayed in
flew
my
out.
guest bedroom.
Okay, so a multi-millionaire business owner flew out of nowhere to you on your birthday, and then took you where he
Not out of
wanted to
nowhere.
go.
We planned it.
Okay, so you've been talking to him continuously. Then you let a grown man sleep in your house, multimillionaire, and he slept in the guest room of a woman's house who he's apparently dating, and then he flew out the next morning and got mad at you because he didn't buy breakfast. That's see, stuff like that don't make sense to me.
It didn't make sense to me either. That's why I ain't talking to his ass no more.
See, but okay,
Hello?
I'm just trying to tell you, just from a man's perspective, why would a multi-millionaire, billionaire, business owner, all this kind of stuff, why would he fly out of nowhere to go on a date with a woman, not get no draws, and then complain the next morning about buying breakfast, and he a multi-billionaire business owner and all
Nobody.
this kind of
Where do
stuff?
you keep getting this beat from, dude? You clearly do not have adequate listening skills, because you're trying to make something that I didn't even say a reality. Ain't
You
nobody
said
said
he was
nothing
a
about a
multi.
bee. I said he was worth
Okay,
17 million dollars,
okay. So why would a man? Okay, my
and
question
nobody
is,
said he flew
why would
out
a
of
man worth
nowhere. It was
17?
planned.
Uh-huh.
It was planned, because we had been talking for about 3 months at that point, and I told him, rather than you have to get a hotel or anything like that, I had a male roommate at the time, so I felt safe to have someone else in my home. He stayed in my guest bedroom, and we went on the date because I knew he had to leave the next morning, and it would not make sense logistically for us to have to drive all over creation to be in contact with each other. He only had one day to be in town, and he was flying back out the next day to go to his some PR thing he had to do. So again, busy people got busy shit to do. But like I said, if you fly all the way out here and you do not give a rat's ass about the person that you came to see on her birthday and what she clearly does and does not eat, you don't even care enough to make sure that I have proper sustenance and that the restaurant that you choose has food for me to eat. Sir, I don't give a damn how much money you make. If you are a dickhead, you are a dickhead, and you can take your dick and your head over there. I don't have to put up with that, just like you don't have to. You didn't have to come here. So
Okay.
when you're so self-centered, like you're talking about, only concerning yourself with yourself and what you want on that date, and not giving a damn about what the woman enjoys, sir, I don't give a damn how much money you make or how important you think you are. You will get curved by the lowliest of
But
women,
why do you? Okay,
because
but
we
why do
care
you?
about how you treat us, not how much freaking money you make.
But why do you think? Why do you think? Okay, I'm just see in my world when people say they got
Because you can't
money
make heads or tails of that one.
in my
When you're self-centered, you can't
no
you start to glitch because you can't make
no no
sense
no
of that.
I'm not glitching. I'm just trying to figure because the world I live in, all of us got different realities, right? So I'm just trying to understand your reality. So, and a lot of other women, I try to understand their reality as well. So I respect what you're talking about. So this is a good night for me to get some understanding, right? And I appreciate you. So my way of thinking is when I hear people saying they worth $17 million and stuff like this, what do you think his goal was to take you somewhere that you didn't want to go and then sleep in your guest room and then leave the next day? Well, like what do you think his goal was?
Don't know, don't care. Because after that, he wasn't worth another damn thought. So you
Mm.
asking the wrong person that question, my love.
Let me ask Noble. Noble, as a man, if you were to put yourself in the shoes of a man with $17 million net worth, and he showed up to that a woman's house, apparently on her birthday, and you've been talking to this woman for 3 months, and you showed up to her house, like what would be your goal, 17 million net worth man?
Okay, you want me to answer the question honestly, or you want me to play games?
I want you to try your best to put yourself in the mindset and the shoes of a $17 million net worth man to fly into somewhere to a woman on her birthday, and then you went to a barbecue place, and then you
Okay.
didn't get no draws, and then you flew out the next morning. What was your goal to see that woman anyway?
Okay. Whether it's the $17 million man or the $1,700 a year man,
Mhm.
his goal is to clap some cheeks. But however, Rob, we need to acknowledge this because I say this all the time.
Mhm.
Um, a man's financial status, a man's monetary status is not a direct correlation to his ability to get women and his ability to get cheeks.
Mm.
There are a lot of men out here, Rob, that they're in a certain tax bracket, but they don't have social skills. They don't have people skills at all. They never even had any interaction with a woman before. They went all throughout grade school, middle school, high school, college. They never got a hug. They never got a kiss. They never got anything of the sort. So
Mhm.
now, now they got a job and they making some money and they got their little bachelor pad and now they think in their head at least that they should be getting women, but it's like they don't even know how to talk to a woman. So the point I'm trying to make, Rob, is I can believe that story. You listen, you and I both know that they're like, a man's monetary status is not a direct correlation to him being able to get cheeks. Come on now. Let's be real.
Okay. Oh, I understand. Well, I'll just let that story be her story, and I thank you for sharing it. I really do.
Oh, you were breaking up, expert. No, but Rob, you need to speak to that though. Like, don't try to like disregard like what I just said. Like, it's not true.
No, I
Is that
respect.
not true?
I respect what you're saying is true. I do. I think my thing is a lot of people that may be viewing this right now, they might think I'm trying to play a game or trying to disrespect a young woman. But my whole thing of when I'm trying to look for understanding, I try to dumb myself down. I come toward it with a childlike um mindset because I want to understand every portion of it, try to get inside her psyche on what she wanted and what he wanted, right? Um,
Rob, I
Mhm.
understand, brother.
Right.
I told you what I know. We know what his objective was. But
Mm.
is it really far fetched to believe that he didn't achieve his objective? Is it really far fetched
Mm.
to not believe that? Honestly, answer
Right.
honestly.
No, it's not far fetched. I can see how that could happen.
Like think about this. So I'm
Mhm.
sorry because he worth $17 million, and instead of going to stay at the Marriott or the Four Seasons, he's going to stay at in some woman's guest room. That
Mhm.
should tell you a lot about him right there.
Right. Right.
Because I
Right.
made it known. I made it known I was not sleeping with him. I do not give up nothing for the free. Let's just make that known. So the conversation that we had prior to him coming was already established that there was not going to be any clapping of any cheeks. I was just being hospitable and allowing him to stay there again because we had a very short amount of time to spend together. And I figured it did not make a whole bunch of sense for us to have to meet logistically, to have to drive a half an hour downtown, to go see him in a hotel and then him have to come back here and, back and forth for us to meet this place, that place, and third place. Cause I knew he was leaving the next day. So
Right.
I was being hospitable again, because I already knew I would be safe and secure with my roommate there who is a gun nut or a pew pew nut. So I felt comfortable with him staying in my guest room. Now I have a really nice apartment. I live in a really nice area where I live. So it's not like I got some little rundown, ramshackle place where he would not feel nice and comfortable. I'm also, a little amateur interior decorator, and any room that I have looks like a hotel anywho. So I
Mhm.
knew he would be comfortable. So if you do not take into consideration, not only that it's my birthday, again, I told him it was my birthday, didn't come with any flowers, didn't come with a gift, didn't come with anything in hand to make it known that he was, intended to treat me, nice for my birthday. Like,
Mhm.
damn, like, did you not
So
hear anything that we talked about prior to you getting here?
so here
Because you're
so
so
no, I didn't.
self-centered, you're so self-serving. And on top of that, you don't even take the time to make sure that I have, a decent meal at the restaurants you chose that you knew did not have anything viable for me to eat.
Mm.
And I go home hungry. No, keep stepping, my guy. I'm
Mhm.
not that girl that is so desperate that
Yeah.
thinks just because a man has a certain net worth, I have to bow down and kiss your feet. And then come
Uh-huh.
to find out, this ninja was FAT. He looked like he had had lap band surgery, and I could tell, under his clothing that he was jiggly. He was a Jigglypuff, and he
Mhm.
did not look like the man in the pictures. So,
Right.
nevertheless, what
Yeah.
I'm saying to you,
So
sir,
let's say
is when
this.
you guys are
I'm not
so
trying to get.
self-centered and do not give a rat ass about the woman's that you're with and her needs, wants, and desires on the day, as well as your own, and you don't make sure that those two align and that y'all can enjoy each other, you might not enjoy it. You could choose something else that she did.
So let's.
Be like,
I
hey,
understand. Let me say this.
you look for
So
these
let me
games
say.
and everything. That's not really a thing. What else is it that you like that we might
Right.
both enjoy?
So let me
It's
say
just a
this.
simple
So
question.
I understand. So let's say this. So I think what's happening is it's not anything to insult you, right? This my me being inquisitive is not to insult you. I think it's more so now I'm gonna push toward Noble and what he said, right? What he said about sometimes men aren't in alignment with the paperwork of who they're supposed to be and the reality of who they are. Like at 17 million net worth, which was you brought that up, right? $17 million net worth. He's just all this special fancy stuff. See, in my world, and maybe hopefully Noble's world, when a man is of that caliber, he's supposed to have a certain set of characteristics that follow that, right? He's supposed to be suave. He's supposed to be cool. He's supposed to be confident. He's supposed to be, in pretty decent shape, right? But that's not always the case. Like Noble said, that's what you're saying, right, Noble?
Right.
Right. So my whole thing is that's very difficult at times for that kind of guy to even be in your presence, and then women are complaining about why that guy didn't do this or do that right, but his money didn't matter because he didn't have the other characteristics to complement the money.
Right.
And that's unfortunate. So what I'm saying, right, for men who do want to date, who do want to pursue women for whatever your reasons are, is you need to have a certain set of qualities to back your outcome that you want. He didn't know what kind of outcome he wanted. That's why went to a barbecue house and not the vegan ramen noodle spot down the block, because he didn't know what kind of outcome he wanted. He was unconfident about it. He was a chubby, rich loser guy. So that's not your fault. See, that's what happens when I ask questions. I learn things.
I already know that. And again, the only reason I brought up his net worth is because I want the men listening to understand all of this red pill BS that you've been hearing, that you get your money up and you get to a certain, financial status, whatever, and you can have any woman you want. That is a fallacy because like I said, I might not be, next top model quality, but I'm a wonderful human being. I'm a pretty girl. I'm thicker than a snicker, and I got curves for days, and I ain't never had a problem getting a man, baby. Let's just keep that a buck. So understand, just because you reach a certain financial status does not get you any woman you want. There are plenty of women that will curve you. Jeff Bezos is divorced.
Hmm.
Bill Gates is divorced. Shaquille O'Neal is divorced, and it went on camera on an interview and said that he wished he was still with his wife and his family. So
Hmm.
understand, you can have all the money in the world, but if you treat women like trash, that's what you're going to get back.
Hmm.
You're going to be
So,
lonely and
and let
just
me,
as dusty as the broke men.
so
Okay,
let me say
expert.
this
Hold
to
on, wait one
you.
second, bro. I want to ask a question. Expert, can you please speak to can you please speak to when I want you to, I know what the answer is, but as a woman, as a grown woman, can you tell the men that if women find it attractive when they place their whole identity, when they place their whole personality in their monetary status, can you please let the men know if that's attractive or not?
It's immediate ick.
Right.
We get the immediate ick. If
I
all
agree
you
with that
care about,
100%. And
thank you.
the women that do actually like that he puts all of his personality into his monetary assets,
Hmm.
those are gold diggers.
I
Hmm.
would,
Right.
I
So
would,
let
But
me,
this is
I
the
can I,
thing. This
man,
is the
Nova, can
thing.
I say
Men
this to you?
who have their whole personality in their money, they love gold diggers because if his whole personality is his money and how much money he made, he wants a woman that wants him for his money.
Yeah.